today.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And RF Group, money at work.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the Record.
For the Record. For the Record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you. For the Record. Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the Record.
For the Record. For the Record. Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Ort Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Wednesday, the 5th day of January 2022, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. I hope and I trust that everyone had an enjoyable, safe holiday, that is Christmas, and that the new year 2022 will find you in a much better place as well. It has been quite a while since I have been on For the Record. It's almost like starting all over again. But it is extremely good and great to be back on the show, to be able to converse with you, to listen to you, to hear you express your views, your concerns, also to impart information, what we consider to be important information on to you as well. So folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and by extension For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Ort Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. Again, beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson in the year 2022, waiting to take your calls. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flow. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord at candw.ky. WhatsApp us 925-3261, where you can send us a text message or leave us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And of course, you can follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday. Special birthday greetings go out to Mrs. Marlene Galbraith, who's celebrating a birthday today as well. For those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing as well. And we know that in the year just past 2021, so many souls were lost, not only here in the Cayman Islands, but throughout the world as well. And those losses have had tremendous impact on individuals as well as family units. For those of you who are infirmed, not feeling well today, and you're either at home or at a medical facility, we want to wish you a speedy recovery. As well, those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, again, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or operating any type of motorized vehicle. Always remember that by observing the rules of the road, the life you save may just be your own. And throughout this year, I will continue to place emphasis on, as much as possible, on road safety. I have been doing lots of research. I believe, and I will continue to voice my opinion, that the government of the Cayman Islands will need to invest in more technology in order for us to identify those scofflaws on the road. When I say scofflaw, that's a terminology used for those persons who scoff at the law, who thumb their nose or make up their faces at the law and say, I'm going to do whatever I want to do, irrespective of what the rules are. And there's lots of technology out there where those scofflaws can be detected. We continue to hear people talk about the Royal Cayman Islands police presence on the roads, and we continue to say that the police cannot be everywhere at the same time. But by having eyes in the sky, having eyes on those light poles, having eyes on those buildings, much more can be done. And if the government of the Cayman Islands is reluctant to impose heavy financial penalties on those scofflaws, then that attitude needs to change as well. And we need to impose those fines. We need to have legislation that does not make it so difficult to punish those persons who scoff at the law. And simply by handing out fines, tickets, I was looking at something where there's technology, those really fast cameras that, irrespective of the speed that a vehicle is going at, if you're in your car and you're using your phone, the camera can detect that, irrespective of what type of tint you may have on the vehicle, that it can be detected. If you're using your phone, if you're throwing something out of the window, those speed cameras can pick up license plates and everything. We need to get to that, because there's no way that we're going to solve the traffic problem in the Cayman Islands by insisting that we have more police officers on the roads. Yes, that will help, but that is not the solution. We have to invest in smart, modern technology so that the manual work that needs to be done, that can be carried out as well. So I just want to remind you that I will continue to be pushing for that, because not only here in the Cayman Islands are we experiencing issues as far as traffic is concerned, it is a worldwide phenomenon. And that has a lot to do with the ready availability of vehicles. Persons now have the ability to afford a vehicle, so everybody wants to drive. Everyone is out there. Not everyone knows how to drive properly as well. So that's my diatribe so far as far as the traffic is concerned. Let's talk a little bit about COVID-19, and I'll give you the latest update that was issued yesterday, the 4th of January, and the Chief Medical Officer Interim, Dr. Artilla Newton, reported 491 new cases of COVID-19, 62 in travelers, and 429 from the community on Tuesday, the 4th of January. Public Health also reported that 1,674 PCR tests were conducted since the last report on Friday, the 31st of December 2021, of which 271 were positive. 220 positive lateral flow tests were also reported during this period. The report also goes on to say that there have been 89 confirmed cases of the Omicron variant in the Cayman Islands to date. Meanwhile, the number of probable Omicron cases reached 476 on Tuesday, the 4th of January. The total number of cases recorded in the Cayman Islands since the start of the pandemic stood at 9,509 at the same time. In addition, 6 COVID-19 patients were hospitalized in the Cayman Islands as at midnight on Friday, the 31st of December. Of those, 3 patients were newly admitted. There were 11 new cases found in the sister islands. To date, there have been 149 total cases recorded in the sister islands, with 127 having recovered, with 127 having recovered. I'm going to repeat that. So there have been 149 total cases recorded in the sister islands, with 127 having recovered. Out of the total number of cases in the sister islands, 83 were fully vaccinated, 7 were partially vaccinated, and 59 were unvaccinated. Also, to date, there have been 58,853 persons, which represent 83% of an estimated population of 71,106, who had at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Meanwhile, 57,259 individuals had completed the 2-dose course. Additionally, 17,296 persons, representing 24% of the total population, had received a 3rd dose of or booster dose up to that point as well. So that is the report in relation to COVID-19. And as we see throughout the world, the medical advice that we get and the various solutions that are being proposed, they continue to change simply because the full nature of this virus is still not yet known. So we almost have to roll with the punches, and we could only encourage the people here, the population of the Cayman Islands, to listen to our health professionals, follow the advice that is being given by them. Sometimes it may sound repetitive, but that repetition is important because it helps to reinforce what needs to be conveyed and what people need to understand as well. But again, we here in the Cayman Islands are in a much, much better place than many other jurisdictions as well. And in order for us to continue to be in that better place, we have to continue to observe the rules. We have to continue to listen to the professionals. We have to continue to be prepared to adjust our activities or actions based on the advice that is given as well. Folks, we're going to take our first commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Sherman Ertis Ebanks, Certificate of Honor, 1915-1995. Captain Ertis was a pioneer in the charter fishing and diving industry, for which he received the Queen's Certificate and Badge of Honor in 1991. He introduced the sport of boxing to the Cayman Islands, for which he received recognition from the Ministry of Sports, Youth Affairs, and Culture. He was a pioneer in the taxi service and in Jeep rental. He served in the Royal Cayman Islands Police Force for 10 years, during which time the Home Guard was established, and he served there as well, keeping watch at the lighthouse during World War II. He was married to Phyllis R. Ebanks, and the couple had 4 children.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way, positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Are you feeling sick but don't feel ill enough to go to the doctor? Ask your pharmacist for advice. Here at West Bay Pharmacy, our pharmacists have been trained to offer helpful, easy-to-understand advice on the treatment of everyday minor ailments for yourself and all the family. Anything from headaches, cough, and sore throat to cold sores, our pharmacists will know when medical help is needed and will not hesitate to refer you to your doctor if your symptoms demand it. Like doctors, our pharmacists have a professional code, which means all personal information you give them will be treated in the strictest confidence. Visit us today at West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay.
No one can stop me when I taste the beer.
Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're back on the air since the 15th of December 2021, and it is great to be back on the air. I want to remind you our phone lines, well, we have about 10 minutes before we go to our 8 o'clock news. Our phone lines are open. Toll-free number 1-800-534-8255. That is provided courtesy of Flo. We also have our other phone lines, 949-8037, 949-6990. You can email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord at candw.ky, or WhatsApp us, 925-3261. or just simply follow us on YouTube, and you can do that by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. We have a wedding anniversary to announce also, and we want to send out happy anniversary greetings to Mr. Dave Smith and Miss Lynn Smith of Rockhole as well. And I don't know if Dave still likes to eat those cakes, but when Miss Lynn baked those cakes for him, he loves to eat them. And it's not unusual for him to wake up in the middle of the night and go to the refrigerator and take one of those cakes out there and eat them. And I'm saying this simply because I have gotten it from him, the word from him that he loves his cakes. So Mr. Dave Smith and Miss Lynn Smith, happy anniversary to you. I'm going to share with you a new staff appointments at the Ministry of Home Affairs, and they have announced that the Ministry of Home Affairs have appointed interim senior staff to the Department of Community Rehabilitation, DCR, in the Cayman Islands. So the Ministry of Home Affairs is pleased to announce the appointment of Melissa Rivas and Erica Ebanks to the posts of Acting Director and Acting Deputy Director in the Department of Community Rehabilitation. Department of Community Rehabilitation is responsible for providing thorough reports, risk assessments, intervention programs, quality supervision, and rehabilitation of offenders in the community and institutions as mandated by the courts and Conditional Review Board. Working in partnership with various agencies, it additionally coordinates the rehabilitation of offenders while reducing the occurrence of reoffending, provides victim support services, and protects the wider public and community. Speaking to the appointments, Home Affairs Acting Chief Officer Michael Ebanks is quoted as saying, "These appointments highlight our continued commitment to nurturing homegrown talent. I look forward to working with Acting Director Rivas and Acting Deputy Director Ebanks to further the policies of the ministry and support our wider community." Prior to her current appointment, Ms. Rivas served as the Senior Probation Officer for Specialized Services in the department. In that role, she was responsible for leading the implementation of that new departmental team, while merging two existing teams, namely domestic violence and mental health offender management, also led to the formation of the intensive supervision team. Serving in the substantive post as SPO for Specialized Services, Ms. Rivas supported the department as its acting deputy director until her appointment to that position in 2019. Working with Director Lisa Malice, she supported the former's departmental, operational, and strategic oversight. This included working on the budget process, policy, and organizational best practices. Ms. Rivas graduated from the University of North Florida, earning a Bachelor of Arts degree in English, minoring in sociology and history. Public service was an early career choice for the acting director before attending graduate school at the Florida Metropolitan University. She interned with Family Resources Center and the then Minister of Education, Youth, Sports, and Culture, and was a data collector for the Gender Socialization, Violence, and School Research Project. An honors graduate with a Master's of Science in Criminal Justice degree. While studying, Ms. Rivas also certified as a domestic violence victim advocate. As a case manager, she gained a wealth of experience combining theoretical and practical knowledge in supporting public and victim safety. She also successfully established the first probation officer post for domestic violence intervention services, which is a specialized service. Commenting on her recent acting appointments, Rivas added, "I am proud to be a civil servant and to work alongside the DCR staff as we strive to make the lives of those we serve better by being a leading organization in the field of offender management. I am therefore humbled by the support and confidence offered by the Ministry of Home Affairs and DCR Director Mrs. Malice to have the opportunity to support our team as the DCR as acting director. I also intend to remain steadfast in my commitment to supporting the staff of the DCR, including acting deputy director Ms. Ebanks, so that they can continue to excel in their daily contributions to public safety." I will share with you later on the details as far as Ms. Erica Ebanks is concerned, but meanwhile we do have a caller, and I want to take that caller before we go to our 8 o'clock break in the next 3 minutes. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Happy New Year to you.
And Happy New Year to you and the people of the Cayman Islands.
Thank you very much.
OC, this is Reba. I'm sending 2 birthday greetings out. The first one, I'm going to make you laugh. It's to the governess, Esme Smith. It is her birthday.
Okay.
Lance Road, he calls her the governess. Lance Road, or beach passes and everything else that goes with it. It is her birthday.
Okay, great.
And then my son, Gary Dominguez, is everybody who calls the foreign child. Gary Dominguez is my son, and Monday was his birthday, so I want to send both of them a very, very happy birthday, and hope they live to see many, many, many more. This is coming from Reba and Mello and Mickey, the tax man.
Excellent. And of course, Miss Esme, and I went to school together. Also, Mikey as well. We all went to school together.
I can remember a little bit about you before you left. OC, I was younger than them.
Okay.
But I can remember my father coming up there in the truck.
Mr. Lawrence, yes.
Yeah. Probably had me in the truck because I had cut up the whole house the day before. And he had me in the truck most of the time. I had to go in the truck because he said he got tired of beating me. That didn't make any sense. So he had me in the truck. So I remember coming up there when I was small. But Esme Michael's way older than me, So
yes,
Esme remembers a lot of things. Esme is very good, OC, I must tell you. You see, when Esme was growing up, Esme never really played, I can tell you what Esme did. It was a library. I think it's Rare Cap. Eugene got this building now. And Esme would go there. And Esme books that she read was Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew.
Okay.
That's all she read all day, Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew. So whatever she became, she became because she read. But not only that, Esme come from a generation of lawyers. My father, people in Jamaica, the Sharps.
Okay.
Lawrence Sharp was a lawyer. He was the man that freed Sam Sharp, Yeah, Esme Grant. And she's just like them. And she's named after her aunt. She's in Falmouth Square in Saltmarsh, Trelawney in Falmouth. Named Dr. Esme Sharp. That's our aunt, our grand aunt.
Okay.
So that's why if you was to meet them Sharps, the Michael Sharp that died a couple of days ago, if you was to meet them, Esme is all a Sharp. She's not a Dilbert. She is a Sharp. And they fight. They're fighters, and that's how she is.
Okay. Ms. Reba, I want to thank you very much for that. Sorry I have to cut you short there a little bit, but we have to go to our 8 o'clock news. But again, happy birthday to Ms. Reba's son as well as her sister, Ms. Esme. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time now by Foster's is 7:59. Looking for better buys and better selection? You'll find it all at Foster's.
Get better buys on Breyer's ice cream. Half price at only $3.99. Save $4. And Simply Almond Milk, 2 for $7. Save $5.38 on 2.
And you'll also find better selection on products like Tenayo Salsa and Dip, just $4.99. Save $1.60.
Shop these deals now at all Foster's locations and online with Foster's Go.
Foster's. Better prices because we care.
Price is good until January 12th, 2022. Find more specials at fosters.ky.
You are listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
For today's biggest news,
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. Nearly 500 new cases of COVID-19 are clocked on the New Year break. Tuesday evening, government reported 491 new cases, 11 of those in the sister islands. 429 of those are attributed to community spread. There have been 89 confirmed cases of the Omicron variant in the Cayman Islands. There are 467 suspected cases. As of midnight on Tuesday, 6 COVID-19 patients were in the hospital. 80% of the population is fully vaccinated. About 24% have gotten their booster. Now that Christmas is over, it's time to recycle your natural Christmas tree. More from Radio Cayman, Shanda Gallego.
The Department of Environmental Health, DEH, begins its annual Natural Christmas Tree Recycling Program aimed at reducing the amount of waste entering the Georgetown landfill. The trees will be later shredded and free mulch will then be available to the public. Now until the end of the month, residents are encouraged to drop off their natural Christmas trees in collection bins, which have now been placed at the Georgetown Cricket Field, the Georgetown Landfill Public Drop-Off Area, and Spots Dock in Savannah. Residents are reminded to remove all wires and ornaments from Christmas trees before they are placed into collection bins. Shanda Gallego, Radio Cayman News.
For more information, you can call 949-6696 or visit deh.gov.ky. In regional news, Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the National Identification System will be fully operational this year. During a tour of the NIDS Card Center at the Post and Telecommunication Department in Kingston, he said, quote, "I'm hoping that by the end of the year, we will have a significant portion, if not the majority of the population, properly identified in the National Identification System." The Jamaica Gleaner reports the facility will be responsible for producing the identification cards issued under NIDS and includes the production center, vault area, and enrollment site. Prime Minister Holness, in outlining the importance of the program, noted that when a government service is provided, government must be able to identify the beneficiaries and be able to account to the citizens how their funds are being spent. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's Newsroom.
BBC News with Jerry Smith. Violent unrest is continuing across Kazakhstan, with major cities placed under a state of emergency. The protest was sparked by a government decision to double the price of fuel used in vehicles. In the main city, Almaty, hundreds of demonstrators have stormed the mayor's office. The dismissal of the government hasn't placated the protesters. The European Union's top diplomat, Josep Borrell, is in Ukraine to show support for the country as tens of thousands of Russian troops remain massed at the border. Mr. Borrell is due to visit Stanitsia Luhanska, which was briefly occupied by pro-Russian separatists in eastern Ukraine in 2014. Hong Kong has announced a series of measures to combat COVID, including a ban on flights from 8 countries, among them the United States and Britain. Hong Kong is trying to eliminate all infections, in line with the rest of China. Human Rights Watch has accused Ethiopia of detaining large numbers of ethnic Tigrayans who've been expelled from Saudi Arabia. Thousands of Ethiopians are deported by the Saudis each year. Security guards at a prison in Nigeria have shot dead 2 inmates during what officials said was an attempted jailbreak. 2 other prisoners and a guard were wounded at the jail in Osun State. Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan has defended his PTI party after the Election Commission accused it of receiving illegal funding. A commission report concluded that the party was given money by foreign nationals and companies. The PTI is also accused of underreporting funds and concealing bank accounts. There's been anger in Australia at the decision to allow the world's top men's tennis player Novak Djokovic to compete in the Australian Open, despite strict COVID rules. He was given a medical exemption from the requirement to be fully vaccinated. BBC News.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Study local and go far this spring. Want to start your bachelor's or associate degree or just need a few classes to complete? Registration is now open for spring classes at UCCI. Scholarships are available for the spring semester, but you need to act now to meet the deadlines. Visit www.ucci.edu.ky to enroll now. Classes begin January 10th. Enroll by December 1st for a chance to win an iPad or a laptop.
Let me tell you something. I've been fishing our island since I was a boy, and it's getting harder and harder to get a good catch. Maybe it's because there are so many more people in Cayman than ever before. Maybe it's because of how the climate is changing. I don't know about that, but I do know that I want to be able to keep fishing and teach my children to fish one day as well. So it makes sense to me that we have certain areas and certain times of the year to fish for certain things. This year, a new rule was placed on fishing for grouper that says no one can fish for nass or grouper anywhere in Cayman from December 1st to April 30th while they're spawning. There is also no fishing allowed at all for any kinds of fish in the spawning zones and no scuba diving there either. It feels unfair not to be allowed to fish where my dad had taught me to fish, but I know that being patient now means we can keep fishing for many more generations. We're all in this together, right?
For more info, download the Cayman DOE app or visit doe.ky.
The 8:10 a.m. Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
Pan American Life Insurance Group can help you take your employee benefit solution to the next level. For more than 110 years, millions of people have trusted PALIG because we've always delivered on our promise. PALIG is the only insurer providing group policies to as few as 3 employees and has the ability to combine life, health, disability, and income protection to provide you and your employees with a complete employee benefits package. Let us customize your employee benefits solution today. Call us at 949-8304 or visit our office at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Sound Road, or visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
Hey, plus, good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 78. Relative humidity is 70%. The barometric pressure, 29.98 inches and rising. The wind is out of the northeast at 5 knots. Overnight low temperature was 72. Synopsis indicate light northeasterly winds and seas expected across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours in association with a weak pressure gradient over the northwest Caribbean. Satellite images show a few patches of low-level clouds around the Cayman area moving towards the southwest. Now the forecast for today and tonight calling for partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures will be in the mid-80s. Winds will be northeast, east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Tonight, pretty much the same, partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures falling to the mid-70s tonight. Winds will be east at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. High tide will be this afternoon at a minute after 12. Low tide this evening at 6:33. The sun will set this evening at 6 and will rise tomorrow morning at a minute after 7. And the outlook is calling for an increase in winds and seas from Friday morning as a high-pressure system is expected to move along the southern United States.
The 10 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
We at Pan American Life Insurance Group are here to help you protect your family and your income. For more than 110 years, millions of people have trusted PALIC because we have always delivered on our promise. Life insurance is not only about death, but also about living benefits. We'll help you secure the life insurance, accident and sickness disability income you need to protect you and your family. Call us today at 949-8304 or visit our office, Unit 221 Cannon Place East, North Song Road, or visit www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Achieving your goals is a very rewarding feeling, but at times can feel very frustrating, especially if and when we miss our target. As you approach your goals in life, set yourself up for success.
When setting your goals, celebrate your progress. It's important to acknowledge progress each step of the way as you achieve your goals. Everything that you do to move in that direction gets you a little closer. Planning small rewards along the way can help to keep things interesting and give us a taste of what sweet success will be like.
Change your thinking and change your life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. OnCourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning once again. Let's take a look at what's happening on our roads. Coming from the east, traffic is steady further up on Shamrock Road. As you approach the Linford Pearson Highway, traffic is busy. Busy traffic coming from the east on Koo Road, and eastbound traffic on Koo Road is moving up moderately. Light to moderate traffic flow on Owen Roberts Drive. As we look to Edward Street, traffic is moderate. Coming from the West Bay 4-way stop, traffic moving along pretty good. On Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, traffic is flowing at a good pace. And into Georgetown on Shedden Road, not looking too bad as traffic is moderate. Out of Georgetown on Shedden Road, flowing light to moderate. And a steady bit flowing traffic on the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz. And that's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12 o'clock. We'll give you another traffic report. Have a good morning and click it or ticket.
At Subway, we caramel a lot about our customers, so we decided to give you 2 treats in one with the new Caramel Apple Cookie. Enjoy cinnamon apples, caramel bits, and salted caramel crunch baked in, and topped with a drizzle of caramel-flavored icing. Gooey, crunchy, and yummy. Complete your Subway sandwich, pizza, or salad with the delicious Caramel Apple Cookie or any other cookie flavor and dessert, available for a limited time at all Subway locations. Subway, eat fresh.
We asked 100 people what they would do with a little extra time.
Top answers included hang with friends, sleep, volunteer, walking on the beach, watch TV. But the odd thing is, no one said, stand in line to pay my bill. Funny that. Now Logic introduces Logic My Account. Pay online, view bill history, schedule automatic payments, and more. Go to logic.ky/my account and pay online, not stand in line. Logic My Account. Go on. Give yourself a little extra time. Bake a cake, browse the web, yoga, spring clean.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Excuse me, I noticed you from afar.
Really? Me?
Well, not you. The KFC sandwich you're eating?
Oh, Zinger.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be funny.
No, it's called the Zinger Sandwich. Crunchy, juicy, 100% chicken breast, crisp lettuce, sweet mayo on a seeded bun with a little zing. KFC's chicken is not factory breaded, frozen and refried like the Burger Boys. Customize your KFC Zinger and dip it in barbecue sauce.
Wow, now I'm starting to notice you too.
KFC, it's finger licking good.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio this morning, but I have lots of things to share with you. But before I go on to other things, want to point out that Miss Sarah Lee is celebrating a birthday today, and birthday greetings are coming from her mom, Miss Carmen, and her dad, Dave, and they want to wish her God's rich blessings for a happy birthday. They love her greatly. They appreciate her very much, and they thank the Lord for blessing her and for providing them with such a good daughter. So, Miss Sarah Lee, happy birthday to you today. And that's coming from your mom, Miss Carmen, and Dave. And Miss Carmen, if you know her, she knows everybody's birthday, and she always recognizes them. She will send you a message or whatever, wishing you a happy birthday. I wish I had the memory that she has when it comes to birthdays. Yes. Okay, yeah, Ms. Susan, good point there. This year, we want to focus more on solutions rather than complaints. And I know that when people call in, they have concerns and stuff like that. But not only do we want to hear your concerns, but we want to hear any suggestions that you may have in terms of addressing those concerns, because we all have good suggestions out there. Some people may think that, what they have to say is not important. Everything is important, and what you have to say is no less important than what others have to say. And one of the good things that we need to learn also in this year and to continue to do is we have to continue to listen more than we talk as well. I believe we do have a caller, Miss Susan. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Happy New Year to you.
Hi, Ms. Dorsey. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy
Good morning.
To you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing good. Well, I have a thought of a complaint, but I do have a suggestion. So I never come up and lay something down and walk away.
Oh yes.
One of the concerns I've had most recently is that when persons, whether known in the community or not, either pass away, they're sick, they've had some form of incident, accident, they become a headline report. And then their personal information becomes part of that report.
Yes.
Personal, private, confidential, medical information. I'm having a real concern with that. I think other members of the community are as well. And I'm going to use Mr. Rankin's case part and parcel because it's out there.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole reporting of his accident, his medical condition, details down to what happened in the emergency room, what happened after. I'm telling you that I couldn't believe it. And I shared in a WhatsApp group that it's concerning me that we feel that is okay. We feel that is okay as a society, and that people are engaging, because I understand well-wishing wants to take place. But I'm not going to participate in well-wishing where a report on somebody's whole entire personal, private history is being used. If you want to say something happened to an individual or asking the community to remember that person in prayer, that's different. But I think we as a society need to move away from, okay, Miss Deidre passed away, she had COVID, she also had this. We understand that this took place in the emergency room. This was said, this wasn't said, she's doing this. She has decided not to do this. She has decided to reject doctors' thing. All of that is not necessary. That serves no purpose in this society. It doesn't promote anything. It doesn't do anything at all, except to take somebody's personal information and make it public. And you haven't had the person's consent to do that. So I'm not sure why that has become the norm. And my solution for that is, let us change the way we are reporting, and let us as a society decide we're not going to participate in it, and we're not going to comment on those things, because that is what's promoting it, is because the commentary continues.
Yep.
Well, wish to the person, contact the family, say we are praying for your individual, we're praying for your family member. But don't participate in this. This has to stop. There is no reason for it.
Yes.
And it is not headline news.
That is so true, and we see so much of it, and maybe at some point the authorities may need to step in and look into this, because things that are coming out of emergency rooms and things of that nature has to be coming out by persons who are working in there, and maybe that needs to be enforced as well. We see in the UK, for instance, where police officers on scenes have taken photographs of there was a case where two sisters in London were killed in a park, and their photographs were taken, and then racial comments were made about them. Those police officers are now being pursued in relation to that, and we need to look at that. Yes, we need to look at that here. But and the thing is that if people's concerns were more about the person's well-being, that wouldn't be too bad. But they're simply curious because they want to hear the salacious things that are out there, and that is unfortunate.
I understand that if I get in an accident and Deidre has ended up in a car accident, God forbid, okay, but you don't have to get into the gory details of all the things that have happened to me as a result of that accident, how I handled that, what decisions I made, what I said to the medical doctors who were treating me, what my family discussed. That is not nobody's concern but my family and that doctor who were dealing with me. And I think we have, as a society, to decide we don't want that kind of information reporting, because, again, it serves no purpose. We see it happening with the MLAs. Information is coming out on them long before it needs to come out. I'm not sure why. We see it happening with individuals. We see it happening with the elderly. We see it happening with people who are dying. However, she died and she had COVID. She didn't have COVID. He had COVID. He didn't. What difference does that make? Why does that have to be important to other people? Is it contact tracing that you're trying to determine? If it is contact tracing, go to public health department where you should be contacting. This is my concern. I was in touch with Ms. Deidre. I understand she passed away. I have concerns to my family. That is how we need to do these things.
Yes.
And we as a society have to ensure that we do not participate in things that we find wrong, morally wrong. I find that morally wrong, because I'm telling you, it is okay when we're doing it to others. But you see, when your shoe changes feet, and our heart changes head, it isn't so pleasant anymore. And I'm asking us as a society going forward in 2022, stop participating in the gossiping of persons' private, personal, medical information sharing. It is unnecessary.
Yes. Thank you.
That is my solution.
Thank you very much for that, Ms.
You're
Deidre. Well said. And, I will echo her sentiments as well. And of course, social media has so much to do with it, and we have to really get control of ourselves when it comes to social media as well. Another caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Happy New Year to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you.
Yes, in regards to that lady, I think she's right. And one more thing we need to tackle for the new year, and it needs to shut down. I know she have her rights protesting, but the lady that is in front of the government building there now leave from protesting to gyrating. That kind of dancing that is going on up there, that is not protesting. And the little crops of shorts that she's in there, I think someone should now lock that down. It doesn't look good up there.
But do you believe that it is her right to do that as long as she's within the boundaries of the law? While it may be a little bit repugnant to some of us, if she is within the bounds of the law, do you think that she has the right to the personal liberty to do that?
No, that's not proper. If that was me and protesting, I wouldn't go there dressed like that.
Right. So it's a matter of more personal choice than anything else.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Got you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. Have a great day. Please stay safe. Okay. Any more calls, Ms. Susan? Okay. So I'm going to continue to share with you these two appointments with the Department of Community Services, and I shared with you the details and the comments in relation to Miss. Want to make sure I get the name correct here as well, Miss Rivas, and the other appointment had to do with Miss Ebanks, and the information in relation to Miss Ebanks. She joined the Department of Community Rehabilitation as a full-time employee in 2011. She received her Bachelor of Science degree in psychology with a minor in criminal justice, and later earned a master's degree in psychology. During this time, she worked as an intern at the department, DCR, on summer vacations, joined full-time in September of 2011. Her starting position was as a probation officer, graduate, and in May of 2012, she moved into the position of probation officer. Ms. Ebanks has worked across different areas within the department, including the general court team, the specialized services team, including drug court and through and after care team. She was promoted to senior probation officer in March of 2017. Ms. Ebanks has a passion for rehabilitation and a keen interest in offender management. Following her appointment, she is quoted as saying, "I am deeply honored to be recognized by the department and the ministry. I look forward to working with the team within the DCR and the ministry in my capacity as acting director." I'm going to scroll back very quickly to the first part of this release that was issued, because the acting chief officer, Mr. Michael Ebanks, said something that I really, really want to re-emphasize, and it has to do with, speaking to the appointment, Home Affairs Acting Chief Officer Michael Ebanks said, "These appointments highlight our continued commitment to nurturing homegrown talent." And that phrase is what I want to zero in on. I want to focus on that in terms of nurturing our homegrown talent here in the Cayman Islands. And I'm going to add to this in terms of promoting and highlighting our homegrown talent in the Cayman Islands. And maybe we should officially or unofficially designate the year 2022 as the year of the Caymanian. Some will say, well, every year should be the year of the Caymanian. But I believe that we have to start somewhere. So maybe we should think about this. 2022, the year of the Caymanian. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Elsie.
Good morning, good morning. How are you? Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, just to say Happy New Year to you and Susan and the crew there at Radio Cayman, and it's good to hear you back on the air again because this is where I got my little bit of enjoyment driving down South Sound Road in the morning.
Thank you.
I'm looking, I should say, I hope we are looking forward to a positive Caymanian year this year instead of not the one we had last year, but let's try to make it a positive Caymanian year this year. And we'll see what happens. Let's just hope for the best.
Yes, well, but we can do more than hope. We can put our best foot forward. We can make all the efforts that we as individuals can. And if we do that individually, then collectively more will happen as well.
Yeah, you're right about that, O.C., but sometimes, it's a little bit frustrating when you see things and you try to expose it and you get no results, and you kind of wonder what's the next course how should I go about the next problem that I see. And we just need there's so many things. I mean, I would like to see something done about these security companies on this island, because that's why I say a Caymanian year this year, because I don't see one indigenous Caymanian working for these companies, and if they are probably somewhere in the back cleaning up the plates or the yard that needs to be lawn or mowed or something like that, because they're not out in the public. I mean, if these people were trained, at the security companies, it wouldn't be so bad, because then you could say, well, they got respect, they know how to deal with people, but that is part of my issues with them. They don't know how to talk to people, and I have a problem with that, because if you want respect from me and you don't respect me, I can guarantee you're not going to get any respect from me. And I was taught that, you were taught that, and you were all taught that. So that's all we're asking, to just be respectful and get it back in return. I mean, the common dog on the road, I mean, if you don't respect him, he will end up with you. And why do you say the dog bite me because the owners don't keep him in the yard and this and that? It's simply because you took a look and you felt at the dog or something you did to the dog, because dogs are not normally aggressive and just attack people. Mm-hmm. I mean, they have a reason to doing what they're doing, same as human beings. And it's all about respect, also. You know that, So
true, yep. Thank you very much for that. And when we come back from the commercial break, I'll comment more about security officers as well, because businesses need to view them as basically, to a certain extent, the face of their company as well. And how you greeted at the door has a lot to do with, your spirit and your concept of that, or that business that you're entering as well. We do have a caller on hold, but we have to take a commercial break. As soon as we return, we will take that caller, so please stay tuned. For the Record, we'll be back shortly.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab. Blood test, x-ray and mammogram, all of that is MedLab. Affordable fees and friendly service, a full professional team. MedLab is always comfortable, MedLab is always clean. For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Call 949-7331 and ask about MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
As we head into the new year, the team at Travel Cayman want to say a very special thank you to everyone in quarantine and isolation from the people of the Cayman Islands. They know how painful it can be to sacrifice the time with loved ones, especially over the holidays. The community is grateful for all that you are doing to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. Thank you for stepping up in these tough times. The goal is to protect all those who are vulnerable. This may include faces you do not know, but also many that you know and love. Visit www.exploregov.ky/coronavirus to learn more about the resources available. To the persons in quarantine or isolation, the Travel Cayman team would like to wish you a happy and healthy new year.
We give you honor and praise, adoration and glory.
Radio Cayman.
Praise time.
Praise him, praise him. Come and let's praise the Lord. Come and let's praise the Lord. Praise him in the morning and in the evening. Oh, let's praise the Lord.
Praise time in the morning.
Praise him, praise him.
Weekdays 6 to 6:30 a.m.
Radio Cayman, waking you up.
Rock my soul in the blues of my favorite. Rock my soul in the blues of my favorite.
Praise time.
I know he cares. He'll always be there. Oh, yeah. Praise him, praise him, praise him.
Praise time.
Set your clock for 6 a.m. or you will miss it.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We do have a caller, and as promised, we're going straight to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Happy New Year to you.
Good. OC, good morning to you. Nice to have you back. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you very much.
I hope that the year is fantastic for all of us. And it's good to have you back on the morning show. Just two little items.
Sure.
Briefly. I think you're right about the year of the Caymanian, but I think one of the things we should explore is the retirement age for workers, especially Caymanians. I think we should change it to say a person can work up until when they can't work any longer. Because once a person reaches 60 and they want to get a bank mortgage, that's it. They just can't because 65 is the age, and then the bank says, well, I can write you a mortgage, but it's only 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
If you're buying a house for $300,000, you can't pay that back.
Right.
So I think, but if the age was not written in law, or if it was 75 or whatever, but certainly I think some age, because we are living longer, but the cost of living and the cost of everything is going up. I think we should try to accommodate that to allow people to have some equity, and also not be burdened by knowing that you can't meet those payments because you only have 2-3 years or 5 years to make the payments.
Right.
And I think we should look at changing the law, the retirement age nationally. The second thing is driving. Also, I really think that we need to enhance the actual criteria that we have for giving people driving licenses. I saw an accident happening in slow motion over the holiday. And how it happened made me say I was going to call you when you were back on the air to suggest that we need to have a simulator of some sort if we are going to be given the kind of licenses that we are given now. We need to have some sort of simulator where we have an actual picture of actual Cayman roads and have a person go in a room and with the instructor and drive on those roads, and then this year another car coming driving erratic, and you have to be able to respond to that person who's coming. You have to then be able to drive defensively. because what I saw happening over the holidays was a car was on one side of the road, a car was coming down, and that car swerved, and the person who was driving up sort of panicked and didn't take no evasive action, just stayed straight on the road, and there was a head-on collision.
Wow.
And it occurs to me that some people get a license, and as long as they are on a straight line driving forward, they believe they're doing a fantastic job. And you have people that driving and they see a bicyclist out front, they don't know how to slow down. They don't know how to keep behind that bicyclist until the other side of the road is much clearer. They can
right.
They can drive.
Yes.
They can drive further away from the bicyclist. They are just driving straight ahead because they think that is their right. To just, as long as the car is moving forward, that is fine. I mean, they think they're doing fantastic, and I think we need to put a break on licenses for visitors in any case. But certainly, this substandard driving that we have on our roads right now is leading to many of these little traffic problems in the morning, where you have fender benders because people really don't know how to take evasive action quickly.
Yeah. What are your views on driver education in schools?
Well, I think that is where it could start as well. In fact, that is where the simulation, because they have smart boards and stuff in school, especially at the high school level. You have smart boards in school right now, and all you really need to do is to have that's a program to inculcate actual Cayman roads on the screen, and have the cars sort of traversing those roads and doing different maneuvers, and you have to then decide how you're going to avert having an accident. Of course, those same classes could have about driver's education in terms of drink driving and also speeding and that sort of stuff as well. But I think our driving is really a sight to behold. I mean, we have some really silly stuff as well. I saw a few mornings ago going to work. I can even name the roundabout, but Cayman National Bank roundabout. A guy had joined the traffic, was in the roundabout, and just he stopped in the middle of the roundabout and let another car pass him to go about, which wouldn't have had the right. Now, as an experienced driver, if you're driving behind somebody on the roundabout, you don't expect them to be stopping because that's not normal, and so you might not be focusing too well, and there you go. You might call ramming right in the back, or you hit him in the back. Then that's your fault.
Oh yeah, 9 times out of 10, if you hit someone in the rear, you're at fault.
Yep. But then it's the guy out front that really caused it, and then you have to there's a lawyer to then prove that it really wasn't your fault. So there's a lot of our driving problems caused by not attention to the roads, to the road code, but also some are just people do not know how to drive. They don't know how to drive. They got to come here with their home country license, and they get that converted by one little road test on the road, and they get a Cayman license, but they know nothing about how to drive in terms of defensively, how to take avertive action if they see somebody coming towards them on the wrong side of the road, for example. They just panic. So those were just the two little items. But
before you go, yeah. I know that you're a stickler for figures and everything, and I'm not sure whether or not we have any studies have been done, any figures have been compiled in relation to the financial costs of road accidents, vehicular accidents in the Cayman Islands, and how much those financial costs can be reduced. Because it costs, when one individual has an accident, costs everyone. Right. Because when the rates go up, they basically go up for everyone. So it costs everyone. Right. We see this reluctance to invest in technology, the reluctance to ensure that we have a more robust testing process for drivers. And if we knew exactly what the if we had a cost-benefit analysis done, we would see, I believe, that at the end of the day, by investing in those areas where we can take preventative measures, that we would come out ahead at the end of the day.
That's a fantastic point. I hope somebody from the ESO office is actually listening, because that data may exist, but if not, they could have it included in the next round of economic data collection that they do. Because you're right, an accident has extrapolated costs, because then you have insurance claims, and if you have a whole spate of insurance claims, that increases the insurance premiums for you and me who are careful drivers. And so, yes, that's a fantastic point, and I'm sure that data would lend itself to probably some more cautionary driving, but also the ability to let the ears that are hearing, that have their national, that have their hands on the purse, to be able to say, well, let's invest in something that we can mitigate against this growing scourge. But I think you have a fantastic point, and I wish you well.
Thank you.
And then a good morning to
all the best.
To all your listeners.
Thank you very much, caller. We have 2 callers on hold, but we have to take a commercial break, and we will take those callers as soon as we return. So please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
West Bay, home to Barkas National Park, the touristy flair, a family community, a political powerhouse. From sports enthusiasts to car aficionados, affection for silver thatch rope. No matter how far you may venture, West Bay will always be where the heart is. Home will always be in West Bay. West Bay Pharmacy, caring for your home and your family. West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient, quality care is just around the corner.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
As we head into the new year, the team at Travel Cayman want to say a very special thank you to everyone in quarantine and isolation from the people of the Cayman Islands. They know how painful it can be to sacrifice the time with loved ones, especially over the holidays. The community is grateful for all that you are doing to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. Thank you for stepping up in these tough times. The goal is to protect all those who are vulnerable. This may include faces you do not know, but also many that you know and love. Visit www.exploregov.ky/coronavirus to learn more about the resources available. To the persons in quarantine or isolation, the Travel Cayman team would like to wish you a happy and healthy new year.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're going straight to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Happy New Year to you. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record. No one on the line.
Hello.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Oh, yes, I said good morning and a happy New Year to you as well.
Thank you.
I was just wondering, I don't want to say all the time, but a majority of the time, when something goes wrong, it's not going to what the people in Cayman is accustomed to, that it's most of the time blame on someone who's not a Caymanian. If the garbage is not being kept properly, it's the foreigners that come and don't know how to do the things properly, and it's doing it the wrong way. And I'm not sure what that gentleman said just now, but it kind of implied to me that, people don't know how to drive the roundabout, and it's most of the people, who are not from Cayman, don't know how to drive the roundabout. Foreigners coming, getting driver's license, don't know how to drive the roundabout. But you know what? That might be the case sometimes. But there are also cases where people who live here are not doing the right thing as well.
Yes.
You know? And I want to find out who tell these people that Caymanians want to be security officers. Like, what's stopping them from being security officers? Do they are they applying for it? Do they want the salary that the security officers are being paid? You know, those are things that probably Caymanians look into it when they're applying for jobs. I get to understand, I don't know, that these people are not being paid a lot of money. And I don't know what could be keeping Caymanians out of those fields other than they probably not wanting to do it.
It could be a combination of things. That could be a part of it. It could also be the hiring practices of those security companies. There are, and we have to admit it, that there are companies in the Cayman Islands who prefer to hire work permit holders and foreigners as opposed to Caymanians, and we can't deny that.
Oh, well, that's probably, that is true. On every level, I must say, whether it's security level or even upper level as well, there are cases of that sort going on. But I also want to say that, I mean, I'm not sure how many people are trained to be security officers. I was kind of like surprised that they actually have to be, that they're actually training.
They have to be certified, I believe, by the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service part.
Is the training for that, is that on island? Are Caymanians going abroad to get trained to be security officers? Because I do know that there are courses that are offered in other countries that qualified such a person to be security officer.
Well, you heard me say earlier to one of the other caller that spoke about it that I wanted to make some remarks, and I'll pass it on, to you as well. That when you look at the job of a security officer does not have the power of arrest. As a matter of fact, there is a possibility if a security officer were to put their hands on you, that person could be possibly charged for assault because there are limits to what they can do. They're really more there to observe, and in some instances, depending on what building you are in, to escort you, to open a door for you or whatever. But they have very, very limited powers. That is why I said that companies need to look at their security officers as almost being the face of a company. We talk about the Cayman Islands and the tourists coming in to the islands, and the first impression that they have is the persons that they meet, either the immigration officer or the customs officer. Similarly, in a business, if they have a security officer at the door, how you are handled by that security officer in a verbal manner will have a lot to do in terms of your perception of it. So maybe security officer is a misnomer these days because there are limitations in terms of what they can do.
Correct. But on a personal level, and I'm not saying that it's happening all the time, on a personal level, I've not really encountered where I am being not mistreated by a security officer. I've always had very good interaction with them and be treated in a professional manner. So I'm not saying it's not happening, but from my experience, it's not. And people don't always behave the same way, and not because someone is not behaving properly doesn't mean that they weren't trained properly either. So yeah. So that's where you need to report when things are happening.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. And I'm going to just add to this. I didn't say it before, and I didn't want to say it, but I had an experience just over before the Christmas with a security officer, and it had to do with the way that the security officer spoke to me in terms of take off your mask, look at the camera. I said to the security officer, can't you speak in a normal, polite fashion? I'm not in a country where there is military rule. You're here as a security officer to direct me. You should do that in a pleasant manner. And I complained to management because as a result of that, I complained to management. And I said it wasn't what he had to tell me, but how he said it. Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Same to you, my dear.
And to your other colleagues there. A very important topic, you guys talking about the traffic and people driving. I was driving a few days ago during the Christmas, and there was an elderly lady in front of me coming on the West Bay Road. She was driving very careful, and I think that government needs, or traffic department needs to look into these cars that are driving up and down with this. I don't know if you've heard them sound like they all, when they added up their cars are backfiring or that's just how they got them set up. But it almost sounds like gunshots are behind, coming from the cars. Well, the poor old lady, she almost swirled off the road because the car was in between me and her. When this car went off, sounded like she had thrown off by gunshots. Well, to me, that is very distracting to people because it could cause accidents because people could think there's somebody shooting at them or something. I don't know what government can do about it, but they need to look into those cars that are making that tremendous noise driving because it's very, very disturbing. And as I say, it could cause a lot of things happening on the road.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a great day. Please stay safe. Ensure that we observe all of the rules when it comes to our safety, either on the roads or when we're socializing as well, as far as COVID-19 is concerned. So, Ms. Susan, we'll take the calls after the headline news at 9 o'clock. I want to share this. I spoke earlier about this new system that is being trialed, and there's an article in the Mail Online, that's a UK daily mail, and some may say, well, how come he's reading that paper? That's almost like I forget the word now. That it'll come to me, but it is maybe as far as their articles are concerned may not be as reputable as others, but you find they may have some salacious stories in there as well, but they're good articles. This one says, new spy in the sky camera that caught 15,000 drivers using phones in 6 months can even catch you eating or drinking behind the wheel, its makers say. And this is what I was talking about. Cayman Islands looking at new technology, investing in new technology. Sometimes these new systems that are coming out, because they're on a trial basis, you may be able to get better deals, make better deals, because the makers of these systems, want them to be trialed as well. So the article goes on to say that the smart camera using artificial intelligence are being trialed on a motorway. The cameras initially analyze high-definition photos taken through the windscreen. It's called AccuSensus. A firm which designed them admits that they can be used to catch motorists doing anything from eating, drinking, smoking, or even just adjusting your radio. Now, some may say that is really intrusion, but, if you're doing anything in a car that puts not only your safety, but the safety of others, into question, then, you should be monitored. Goes on to say that the company says that the system addresses all forms of distraction. So the article says a new spy in the sky camera, which identified 15,000 cases of drivers using mobile phones, could also catch motorists eating, drinking, or not wearing a seatbelt, its makers say. Smart cameras linked to a new automated system using artificial intelligence are being trialed on an undisclosed motorway ahead of a blanket ban on holding a mobile device while driving, which comes into force in early 2022. That is in the UK. The cameras instantly analyze high-definition photos taken through the windscreen of passing cars, and Genotic, the enforcement technology firm testing the cameras in the UK, believes they will be crucial in providing evidence to prosecute offenders. The pilot scheme has been running since spring, and it is hoped a wider rollout across the country will be possible next year. But AccuSensus, the Australian firm who designed the cameras, admits that they can be used to catch motorists doing anything from eating, drinking, smoking, adjusting the radio, or using navigation devices in a holder. The company says in a brochure that the system addresses all forms of distraction beyond the illegal use of mobile phones. The technology, which can catch drivers not wearing a seatbelt, is already used in New South Wales, Australia, where it is estimated to have reduced road fatalities by a fifth since it was introduced 2 years ago. I have to stop there because we reached the top of the hour. Headline news. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after headline news at 9 o'clock.
Continuing the Caymanian tradition.
Let Cora keep my ground so clean.
The heart and soul of the Cayman people. Thank you for keeping the culture alive.
There's the news every day. From East End to Georgetown, down into West Bay.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
Tuesday evening, government reported 491 new cases of COVID-19. There have been 89 confirmed cases of the Omicron variant, with an additional 476 suspected cases. French President Emmanuel Macron has warned he intends to make life difficult for people in France who have not been vaccinated against COVID-19. He told a local newspaper, quote, "I really want to hassle them, and we will continue to do this to the end." But political opponents said the strong language he used in the interview was not worthy of a president. His comments prompted MPs to suspend debate on a law barring the unvaccinated from much of public life. And North Korea has fired a suspected ballistic missile into the sea off its east coast in its first launch since October. The missile landed in water between the Korean peninsula and Japan, bringing condemnation from Seoul and Tokyo. The UN prohibits North Korea from ballistic and nuclear weapons tests. Leader Kim Jong-un has vowed to bolster the North's defenses. It tested a variety of missiles last year amid stalled talks with the South and the U.S. Those are your headlines. I'm Carsley Fuller.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. I'm going to continue to share this article with you about this new camera that works, that utilizes artificial intelligence, and the trials that took place also in New South Wales, in Australia. And they found out that one of the problems that they had there, they didn't have enough vehicles to put those, have those cameras, not the cameras, but the monitoring system put in as well. But talking about revenue, and I keep saying here in the Cayman Islands that sometimes there appears to be a reluctance to earn revenue through scofflaws, those persons who refuse to observe the speed limits, those persons who refuse to wear seat belts and other things, they should be fined. Because it's only when you hit them in the pocketbooks that sometimes you get the results that you want to get, because sooner or later they feel it severely enough that it causes them to adjust their habits and to be more cognizant of the rules as well. So the article points out that fine revenue from the government's mobile speed camera program had risen to 23.7 million in the year leading up to this, which resulted in it being 10 times the 2.3 million in the previous periods. Also points out that figures reveal that the top 100 locations for mobile speed camera fines in July were in a particular part of the country as well. So I'm sharing this with you just to point out to you the fact that if we invest in technology, again, we can't have police officers everywhere, but if we use smart technology, we can still catch the offenders. We can find them. We don't necessarily have to waste court time as well to be able to do that. So, just wanted to share that with you. Now, if you notice, I haven't said anything yet about the royal gongs and all of the awards, Queen's Birthday Awards that have been issued for people here in the Cayman Islands. I want to congratulate everyone who received them, but I'm going to, place more focus on it because, as usual, we see some criticism. We see people complaining, and I think it is important for us to understand what those awards are all about, whose prerogative it is to issue those awards, and also about the nomination process, because the same persons who complain about such and such being awarded, the question could be, have you put any person's name forward as far as a nomination is concerned? We do have callers. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
On the topic that you're talking about technology, right? The speed cameras, excellent idea. They should have had that 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's one thing.
I believe at one point in time we thought we were paying for that as well, but whether or not we got it, I'm not sure.
Another section with technology, Cayman need radar buoys in the water to deter these people coming from Jamaica bringing drugs. Okay, we need to see people coming to Cayman way in advance before they know it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing what the Coast Guard been using for years. When the Cubans is going into Florida, they know way in advance, and they can go pick them up with a blink eye. Okay. Another topic pertaining to traffic and driving in Cayman. People need to use indicators. That's the problem. A lot of accidents is causing Cayman.
Yes.
They want to use indicators where they're stopping or where they're turning. The exact time. You need to put on your indicator a few hundred feet, 200 to 300 feet where are you turning, so everybody know where you're turning.
Yeah, not at the last second. Yes.
Exactly. People is turning on side roads, putting on the indicator when they're turning. What's the purpose of the indicator in the car? You think the manufacturer put the indicator in the car to look at or to feel it? Is it there for a purpose? So the driver on the side of you, or in the back of you, or in the front of you, or in the section, they know exactly where you're going. Is it? But on the
what about the night driving or driving in darkness? Those persons with with their bright lights on. I theorize that most people don't know what a dip switch is or know where it's located in a car or what it's for. What do you think about that?
Because people don't look down on the dashboard. I'd be driving behind people, got on the indicator from Georgetown all the way to Bordentown, and don't even know the indicator is blinking. Right? So you don't know where he's turning. He got the indicator to your right, but he's turning left.
Yeah.
He don't even know if the indicator's on. I don't know what kind of instructors that they're teaching these people to drive, but I'll tell you what, I've been driving around these driving learners that is in these cars with people, and let me tell you, I see it. They're learning to drive, but they're instructing the car, and they're not even using indicators, so I don't know who's teaching who. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I agree.
Right? I'm telling you, these people that are driving in Cayman, they don't understand the road code, right? They don't know where they're going, okay? When you can get on the roundabout, you got to plan in advance how to get off, okay? Okay, when you change the lane, you can't wait to about to change lane to turn. You got to plan that in advance.
Yes, position yourself early. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right? And that's the problem. I just came from town, and it's an accident by the roundabout there. The first roundabout there, right by Lexington, who's their gas station. A fender bender right there.
Yep.
Okay, 15 minutes ago. Okay.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, when you look at it, it's like this thing was not supposed to happen. Yeah.
Okay, caller. I want to thank you very much for that. Have a great day. Please stay safe as well. Next caller. Good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you. See how it's been.
Oh, pretty good. How are things with you?
Okay, not bad.
That's good.
I hope that we can be more. What can I say? More islanders this new year, because I notice a lot of people, years gone by, we used to be so friendly, stopping by and saying hello to each other. Now, none of us ain't got no time for each other, and that's not our way, But I just wanted to call in this morning to give my condolences to our good friends Charlene and Leroy for the passing of their brother Tino, and wish them in this time of their grief that the good Lord would be good enough to them to send a comforter to be with them during this time, because our good friend has gone and passed away. And OC boy, over the Christmas, there's a lot of Caymanians that has passed on, man. A lot.
Yeah, yes.
It's astonishing. I don't know what is happening. It looks like a spell on the island, because, man, it's a lot of Caymanian people that we know and grew up with, are just going on, man. But I'm wishing you all the best for the new year and hope that everything will go well with you. I don't know how Doc is doing. And I know he's listening, probably Lord Graham. He got one enemy down in West Bay during the Christmas because he was supposed to get some corn turtle and thing and call his good friends, and no bother hearing nothing from him, missing in action. They were calling him and couldn't get hold of him. We don't know.
Really?
If he's still missing or what, but only missing for certain people, though, only missing to certain people. But how is Dr. Marcel doing?
When I spoke to him last, he was doing well. Doc was doing well. I'll be in contact with him this week, actually. But he was doing fine. Doc was doing fine.
Okay, then. Well, that's all I wanted to say. And you have a good balance of the new year, and I continue listening to your show.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And you stay safe as well, my friend.
Okay. Thank you.
One of our listeners has shared with us. It says, good morning to you and your... listeners and viewers, and for the record, in regards to driving and drivers here in the Cayman Islands, based on what I've been seeing from time to time, our traffic laws are not being enforced. Drivers are not being pulled down for various careless activities. Some are being pulled down and prosecuted, but very rare. And I'll say to that basically because, the police can't be everywhere. And while they may be enforcing, and we can't take half of our police force and dedicate it towards traffic because there are other issues as well. A lot has to do with education, and the same writer actually covers that in their next point, which they talk about the fact that defensive driving is also something that needs to be implemented and maintained within the road test process. Yes, and the road test process needs to be more rigorous. I mentioned earlier, well, not today, but one of our callers mentioned it today, the use of the simulators for driving tests, or to see a person's competency to a certain extent, the use of simulators. It's almost like everything else that we learn, though. When you look at sports, professional teams will look to youth programs, football youth programs, cricket youth programs. The same thing with driving. We have to get to our drivers when they're young. That is why I advocate for driver education in the schools. People need to be aware. They need to know exactly what the rules of the road are, how to go about driving. People also have to understand the value of their lives, the value of life, how important that is. How do you go about protecting yourself? Again, defensive driving. You learn how to do that. So while we have concerns about those drivers who are on the road now, we have to address that issue, but we need to start from scratch with those who are preparing themselves to get a driver's license, whether or not it be 1 year, 2 years down the line as well. Time for us to take a commercial break, folks. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Are you feeling sick, but don't feel ill enough to go to the doctor? Ask your pharmacist for advice. Here at West Bay Pharmacy, our pharmacists have been trained to offer helpful, easy-to-understand advice on the treatment of everyday minor ailments for yourself and all the family. Anything from headaches, cough and sore throat, to cold sores, our pharmacists will know when medical help is needed and will not hesitate to refer you to your doctor if your symptoms demand it. Like doctors, our pharmacists have a professional code, which means all personal information you give them will be treated in the strictest confidence. Visit us today at West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio, so we have our phone lines open for the entire show. Our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flo. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord at candw.ky. WhatsApp us, 925-3261. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. Happy New Year.
Good morning. Thank you. Happy New Year to you as well. I hope all is going well so far.
So far, beautiful.
Great.
I had to tune in, or chime in, I should say, on the traffic issue and the driving and so forth.
Yes.
I was listening when George was on. No, he don't mind me calling his name because he calls it all the time. That he was saying that he's watched or witnessed an accident happening. You would say in slow motion. The thing is, with most people, they can keep the car on the road, but they have no knowledge of driving.
Mm-hmm.
And like you rightly said, it needs to start within the school. They need to have driver's ed. And I've seen people come and hit on to me. I look for what I can do to avoid that accident. I have pulled completely off the road in many instances. I could have stayed on the road. A lot of people, all they're going to do is just take and blow their horn. What a horn is going to do? The horn is not going to save you from the accident if you don't make provisions to avoid it.
Exactly, yep.
So, you know, these are things, and oh my goodness, don't talk about the speed and in the school zones. The one Savannah especially, that should not have been 2 lanes right in that spot, because the first thing is it merges right back into one.
Mm-hmm.
You start by, you would say by Wendy's. It's a 2 lane, you would say, from there to where? By the end of the Adventist school property. And then you merging back in. That should just be a turning lane.
Yeah. And if I can interrupt you for a second, caller, sure. I believe the history of that lane being put there had a lot to do when we didn't have the east-west arterial on Rex Crichton Boulevard. That wasn't fully opened up yet. So that lane, extra lane there, was put in there to accommodate traffic coming out of the Newlands area. Now that we have that east-west arterial, that's even a stronger argument for not needing that lane anymore if it was designed to accommodate those drivers coming out from that area.
It can still accommodate those coming out of there.
But you don't have as many coming out. You don't have as many coming out that way now, right, because they're taking the east-west arterial.
But it could have always been a turning lane, because when you come out of Newlands, you got a good stretch between there and Wendy's that you can indicate and move into the left lane.
Yes.
So it could have always been designed for a turning lane. You can't take and put a 2 lane right in the middle of nowhere, and then it ends in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
What purpose and what benefit is that?
So
it's
true.
No good. All it is an accident waiting to happen. And we have seen accidents happen there many times since they put it in. Even a pedestrian got licked down right there by the post office because of the same thing. And I don't know if they fully recovered as yet. These are things that, it don't take a rocket scientist to figure these out. But we need education. I've seen people that have driver's license, legally driver's license, and can't reverse, can't park. These are things that should be brought up from the schools.
Yeah. I'm going to interrupt you again, and I apologize for it, but this is one is a really joke. Years ago, I was still in New York, and there was an article in the New York Times talking about the driver's license process in Egypt, right? And there was this rich lady who wanted to get her driver's license, but she didn't know how to reverse the car. And she actually paid someone to push the car backwards for her in order for her to get her driver's license. And, she could use her money for that purpose. And, she's taking the test. And they pushed the car backwards because she didn't know how to reverse. And she got her driver's license.
I'll give you a good joke. This is reality, because it happened with us when we were growing up. We had fire rate and all of those. So my father was at sea, and car started giving trouble, automatic transmission, so the gears slip in and whatever else. So the car wouldn't take the reverse. So we started go town with mommy, and she parked into Bayreuth, or wherever she parked, and we push her out there and go ahead. So, those are comical things. We had fun out of it, but it was a serious something because the car couldn't reverse.
Yes. All right,
anyway, we'll see. Good hearing from you again. And
thank you.
We look forward to a good year.
Thank you very much. All the best to you, and please stay safe as well.
Okay.
Any more callers on hold, Paul? Okay. So I'm going to switch over to a topic, and at some point in time, I'm going to share with you the whole process. And this is coming from a BBC article in relation to the system that is in place for granting honors, the Queen's birthday honors. The Cayman News Service article, Sir Alden gets top royal gong in New Year's honor list. I'm going to start with that, and I'm going to use that as a basis for conversation. So the article points out that former Premier Alden McLaughlin, the Member of Parliament for Red Bay, was given the top royal gong in the Queen's New Year honours list. According to a press release from the Governor's office, Sir Alden is only the second recipient of a knighthood in the Cayman Islands given for his personal service to the people. And while a knighthood is one of the, I would say it's one of the top gongs, but there are others that go beyond that, and I will share those with you. One that is drawing attraction now is the appointment of Tony Blair, former Prime Minister, to the Order of the Garter. So the article goes on to say that Governor Martin Roper said it was an outstanding personal achievement for Mr. McLaughlin, whom he described as one of the most important and impactful political leaders in the Cayman Islands over the last 21 years. He said that he hoped people could put politics aside, and celebrate the achievement. And I've seen comments where persons have chastised the governor for saying that, asking people to put politics aside, and then they go on to accuse him of actually inserting politics into it, but I'll leave that for another day. It's quoted as saying, "It is a significant moment for our islands. This historic award is only the second ever knighthood to a Caymanian since the first in the 1990s. It is a strong signal of respect in which Cayman is held, and a visible demonstration of the progress Cayman has made as a vibrant democracy with strong, good governance foundations." The governor is quoted as saying that the award reflected Mr. McLaughlin's distinguished parliamentary and ministerial career, adding that he had ushered in a, quote, period of stability, economic growth, and sound financial management when he became premier, as well as making important contributions to Cayman's constitutional development. He, quote, led a step change in Cayman's representation on the global stage, including robust support for Cayman's highly successful and dynamic financial services industry. Again, a quote by the governor. The governor also said that he was the pivotal figure in leading Cayman's response to the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. Premier Wayne Panton issued a statement immediately after the announcement on New Year's Eve, congratulating his once close friend and now political opponent. That's, again, what the Cayman News Service has written. He's quoted as saying, "This is a day of celebration and great pride for all Caymanians. As a son of the soil has been bestowed one of the highest honors in becoming only the second Caymanian to be knighted nearly 28 years after the late Sir Vassal Johnson received his knighthood in 1994, the Premier said. He's quoted as saying, "Sir Alden has dedicated the majority of his professional life to public service. He first entered representational politics by successfully standing for elections in 2000, which effectively brought a blossoming career as a partner in a local law firm to an end. Paying tribute to his career, Premier Panton said he was the architect of the Cayman Islands' modern constitution, and as Premier, Sir Alden had sought to build a strong, productive, and mutually respectful relationship between the Cayman Islands and the United Kingdom. And few can argue that his representation of the Cayman Islands on the international stage was undertaken with anything but dignity, diplomacy, and tact. The Premier said Mr. McLaughlin's second administration was defined by the COVID pandemic and the important decisions he made to close the borders, institute lockdowns, adopt a policy of COVID-19 eradication, and launch a national vaccination campaign. Premier Patton also congratulated the other recipients of the 2022 honors list who have all made outstanding contributions to the country. The recognition of their commitment and dedication in their various fields, which has benefited our country, should be celebrated, and they should know that they have a collective sense of gratitude. That the Premier is quoted as saying. Miss Lucille Seymour and Miss Sharon Smith both received MBEs, while Natalie Coleman received BEM. The governor also awarded 44 certificates and badge of honor awards for outstanding service to the community, many of which were recognized for their work during the pandemic. And I'm going to put a little asterisk there and to say that our own director here, Miss Norma Macfield, is also the recipient of the Queen's Certificate and Badge of Honor. And again, we want to publicly congratulate her for that, as well as congratulate all of the others. And during the course of, may not be today, but I will continue to highlight the recipients of these awards, give them personal recognition for what they have done as well. Time for us to take a commercial break, folks. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointment.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Radio Cayman News.
Former Premier Alden McLaughlin is receiving a knighthood from Her Majesty.
3 people are recovering today after a Sunday afternoon smash.
There is a gap between what we want and what we actually do.
The inception of this program treated over 34,000 corals.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Orit Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio. I'll remind you, our phone lines are open. Toll-free number provided courtesy of Flow, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, for the record, at candw.ky. WhatsApp us, 925-3261. As well. And I'm just reminding you that those numbers are out there. Not that that there's any shortage of information that I have here to share with you this morning as well. But in the event that you may want to call in and share your experiences, please do so. One of our listeners has shared their experience via WhatsApp, and the person says, "Thank God I've never had an accident beside reversing into a tree." And I'm going to pause there for a second. The person didn't say this, but we do have some drivers who, when they reverse into the tree, they will say to themselves, "Where in the world did that tree come out from? That wasn't there when I was reversing." And they blame the tree rather than themselves as well. So the person goes on to say that they received their license at 17 and they are now 70. So they're around about my age. And goes on to say, but the way that they see some of these so-called drivers on these highways is ridiculous as well. So, yes, and that's the price that we pay for prosperity. That's the price that we pay when things become more and more available. At one point in time, ownership of a car and the ability to drive a car or a vehicle was something to be thought of as a privilege. These days, most people use it as a means of transportation, and some may say, well, the reason that we have more cars is because of the lack of a public transport system. I have heard people who say that we're a little bit late for that now because not many people are going to park their cars now to take public transport, even if we were to implement a more effective one, as well. But it is something that needs to be addressed. We are not alone here in the Cayman Islands. We see it happening in all countries. We see it happening so much in our Caribbean neighbors as well. And a lot of it has to do with the availability, the easy availability of vehicles. Thanks to Taiwan, thanks to Japan, and to the U.S. as well. Paul, we have a caller on hold. Caller, let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, Rusty. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm fine. How are you?
Yes, boy, thank God that Jesus is still in the run.
Yes, good. Great.
Well, see, I got a serious problem with this driving, because me gonna nearly get an argument over a man the other day. Right down the by part of Meat Market used to be on Navy Street, by Kendall's and them.
Yeah.
Going into Uncle Clem's. You got two cars parked side by side. They are talking to each other. I blow to enter to get them to go to the place, the supermarket, to buy my things. Boy, they start arguing with me. I say to myself, boy, it's a good thing we changed, and a good thing came and changed. Me, you know who talking to you?
Yes.
Anyway, I just did what I had to do. They arguing, I try to get around. I'm going to do what I had to do. Anyway, on my way coming back, they look like him a dog in me. He started on me again. Boy, after you argue, me kill you, me murder you. I just drive you.
Yes.
The reason why I don't make two fools argue. Anyway, I drive in, I went about my business. So the night now coming up, now I see a black car coming down Savannah. He didn't got on lights after 6 o'clock. If you ask them what time they got put on the lights, they didn't even know that. I one son in him right now, but they was say, man, put on the indicator, we are nowhere going, one. He tell me about my mother. Well, see, a change. Thank God a change.
Yes.
A change. Anyway, I don't blame him. Well, see, when we have 130 odd nationality in this island, we could expect to get anything. Number two, we'll see, when we has report that they can use and bring in any amount of their relative and family to the island, where other world part in the world that can happen, we'll see.
Yep. Are you still there? I think we lost the caller. May have been on his end. Any other callers on hold, Paul? Okay. Meanwhile, I have a WhatsApp message here. This person wants and says, please, if you can, explain why security officers at the court who work for a private company question person's reason for attending court, which should be confidential unless you're an officer of the court. And they also have a very aggressive attitude towards people for no apparent reason. And I'm going to express this person's sentiments, and some of you may not like what I have to say, but I'm going to say it any way. If you go to a country, and I'm not going to use any abstract, when you come to the Cayman Islands, you have to understand the people of the Cayman Islands. You have to understand Caymanians. You have to understand our approach to things. We have never been aggressive. Not to say that that won't change, because they sometimes say you have to fight fire with fire. And if people become aggressive to you, you may have to become aggressive to them as well. And that depends really on your temperament. You heard the caller who called in last about the argument that he had, and he walked away from it. You may not know why. I know why that caller walked away from that. So, people need to understand Caymanians and how we operate. You can't come from your country where you treat your fellow man like dirt, like nothing, and expect that you're going to come with that attitude and try to talk to Caymanians and others that way as well. It ain't going to work here. And when people are confronted by those persons who act that way, they need to be verbally put in their place and told. And you go to management and you let them know how these persons' actions are reflecting on their businesses, you know. So in the case of the court, you tell the security guard what you feel that they need to know and no more. Now, if the security guard is asking you where, what court you're going to, they may want to be able to direct you to the particular floor or to the particular courtroom number. That may be the reason why. So you may want to ask them, why do you need this information? And if they don't have a plausible reason, for it, then unless they're being directed by the authorities, by the court authorities to ask those questions, then you're not obligated. My view is that you're not obligated to give them an answer. We have a caller on hold, Paul. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Happy New Year, old heart. What are you doing so early in the year?
Oh, I'm good. So much preparation. I had 2 weeks to prepare.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering what your problem, what on a problem is.
How are things? How are things?
Things is good. You tried my New Year's resolution that I'm not making until now. Is to be soft-spoken, to be malleable, to be pliable, walk-overable. And I got to make it right yet till I did.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I don't know when I can answer. I'm going to try to behave when it says, if I need to step off the sidewalk when decent people is coming, I'm going to step off. I've been doing that. Automatically we would have done that as children. There were people coming in more of the way, so I continued on with that. They're coming in there on the sidewalk and they're taking up the sidewalk. And I need a whole sidewalk to walk. But I steps off to give them place, and 2 and 3 of them, I step. When I was driving, I see them coming and they're aggressive and thing, I hold back because when I get an accident, you know what happened? I can be the one walking and the one paying the fine and the one without the license, all kinds of things. And I got to learn how to live. You hear what the great scientists say? The species that survives adapts, and I better try to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Adapt. And I can live till on the dead rate, yeah. I don't know how long that can be, but and I can live till on the dead rate, yeah, if it's on adaptable, so I'm malleable and it can roll over me. I get off the sidewalk and make my betters pass. I'll stand back and, whatever. I'll hold the door from and behind me or in front of me, do all that, and I behave, and we can get on here. 140 something or what. We can get on here. Bye-bye.
Take care, my dear. Take care. All the best. Talk to you later.
Okay, bye-bye. Mm-hmm.
Okay. One of our listeners shared this with Me as well. They have pointed out that we had approximately 170 indigenous Caymanians who passed away in 2021. 170 Caymanians, indigenous Caymanians. That's interesting. That's interesting. Now, the big question is if we're going to try to maintain some balance here. I would hope and we trust that those 170 that we lost, that we replace them with at least 170 new Caymanians, and not paper Caymanians that we're talking about. Now I'm talking about natural-born Caymanians. I hope that the replacement theory is working for us as well, and that because of our losses, that we increase that as well. There was one point in time, I think this was in the 70s, where the population growth in the Cayman Islands, it was pointed out to us that the growth rate was basically too low, and we know what the consequences of that could be, that you end up being overwhelmed at the end of the day. We have seen immigration expand, increase in the Cayman Islands to the point where we have a workforce, a non-Caymanian workforce that is much larger than the indigenous workforce as well. Not necessarily the population, but the indigenous workforce as well. And we need to pay attention to that if we want to be able to retain some of our practices, our customs, and our identity. Being such a small country, at some point in time, that may be very, very difficult to achieve, but we need to do what we can in the meantime. We're going to take our last commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointment.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have a caller on hold, so we're going straight to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Happy New Year to you. Good morning, caller. No one there. Okay. Going back to share something. Oh, we have one call coming in, so let's wait for that. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O.C. Connor.
Good morning. I hear you in trouble with some corn turtle.
Yeah, you know how those West Bears go. Yeah, they're now flocking the turtle farm and buying up all the fresh turtle and corn in it. That's why we can't get no fresh turtle. We're forced now to buy corn turtle from the West Bears.
Oh, but there's certain parts of the turtle that you actually use to corn. I remember when we used to get corn turtle, the part with the skin, the part of the underbelly and stuff like that is used to use to corn, not necessarily the meaty part.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. But,
yeah. A lot of the skin.
One lady do have some for me, so I'm gonna find myself down there and and get it and see if I can cook it Cayman style.
Oh, that's with coconut milk.
With the coconut milk.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like a rundown, like.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll see that.
That's almost a lost art in Cayman. You know, that's almost a lost art.
Yeah. You know what? Also, get a corn porridge. Get a corn. I'm trying to locate it, and I even went to this same lady that do the corn turtle. Apparently, I was told by George Chalette, my good friend, that she might have some, and I went, and they didn't even have an idea of what I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You do remember get a corn?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's gone. Well, see, what I talked to Doc a while ago. He's good.
Okay.
He's, walking around town. He has choose to be a pedestrian today instead of driving around. I'm
going to try to get him on for Friday.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. What I wanted to talk, and I think you would be the best one to shed light on this. I'm concerned, OC, and it was brought to my attention concerning there's a Caymanian who's in a position of acting for a local communication company.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm hearing not from that individual, but from other staff members, employees, that they're now heading up to bring in somebody on a temporary work permit to pick up that position. But if we have somebody acting, a Caymanian acting the position, and somebody coming in temporarily on a temporary permit, would that not also be acting? Or do I get it like most people do, use that temporary to beat the system? I thought temporary shouldn't mean that you should put in a grant after the temporary, because it's only a temporary position.
Yeah, well the whole issue of a temporary work permit, that whole idea started to lose its true meaning, because a temporary work permit was designed for exactly what it said, to be temporary. That means that the person was coming to do a specific job, and once that job was concluded, and in the early days it was for 30 days, and you could renew it for an additional 60 days, for a total of 90 days, 3 months. And after that period, you would leave the island. Yes.
Yeah.
That whole system got corrupted. And when I say corrupted, I mean, the whole meaning of it. And people then started to use temporary work permits as a stepping stone towards the grant of a annual permit. And I believe one of the things that we need to look at these days is to having a temporary revert back to exactly what it was intended for temporary employment. And specifications on it. During that period of time that person is on a temporary, no application can be made for a full work permit. The person leaves the jurisdiction after. If they're going to make any application that is going to be made afterwards for continuous employment, needs to be done while that person is off the island. We should not allow temporary work permits to be used as a stepping stone towards an annual work permit, because what it does, again, it is an additional tool that is used to discriminate against Caymanian workers.
Oh, see, I know I should have called you concerning this, because you would have been the one to shed the light on it, being as knowledgeable as you are within that department.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think it should stick to what it was meant to be, temporarily, and no, not to carry on forward as to submit for a grant.
Yeah,
because you're only here for temporarily. And then I notice, what it tends to do, try to beat the system by applying for express, by paying that extra couple of dollars. I don't know if that's to pull the wool over the administration by paying the extra $100 for express to get it very, very quickly approved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I think also, if the excuse that businesses are using to say, well, we apply for temporaries because it's taken too long for the annual permits to be approved, then and I have to be careful, how much I say and what I say, because I'm now a member of the business staffing plan board. But if I have a choice and if I can't talk about it on the radio and to be on the board, I'll give up my position on the board to be able to articulate myself, more clearly on the radio in terms of the whole system. But, without, presenting any conflicts of interest or anything else, if the argument that they're using is that it's taken too long for other work permits to be processed, then for annual work permits to be processed, then we need to focus on the processing of annual work permits so that less emphasis is then placed on temporary work permits.
Right. But good idea.
But temporary work permits being issued on not for genuine temporary employment is another tool that is used against Caymanians, because it is then allowing that individual to get a foot in the door. So when it comes to recruitment, even if the company then decides that we're going to try to recruit internally, that individual who has been there on a temporary work permit, they're going to have some more experience in that job already than a Caymanian would have had in there. And I found an article, and I'm going to share it with others, that talks about, internal recruitment and, who has the advantage when it comes to internal recruitment as well.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for that, Rusty. I know you've been able to shed some light more on that.
Thank you.
On
Thank
that
you.
issue.
Take care. Don't forget me when you get the corn turtle, huh?
No, I won't. You know 100.
Okay, so we have about 4 minutes left. I'm going to cut off the phone lines because I want to start this article about a guide to the honors system in the United Kingdom. And this is from the BBC article, 6th of June, 2019. Queen's Birthday Honors, a guide. British honors are awarded on merit for exceptional achievement or service. So that's the first thing that needs to be taken into account. And I won't have time to talk this morning about what the governor said about Sir Alden McLaughlin and his contribution. I would just caution you to say that bear in mind, it talks about him being the architect, one of the architects of our Constitution. It was during their administration that we ended up with constitutional changes. Now, some may argue, and some may argue correctly, that the Constitution is not a perfect document. We know that it is a living document, but we have gone leaps and bounds from where we were. Don't forget that there were previous administrations who ceased or cut off constitutional talks or dates that we would have held constitutional talks, and we got nowhere with it. Absolutely nowhere at the end of the day. And I believe that if it weren't for the progressive government at that point in time in 2008, 2009, or from 2007, whenever it began, that we would not have a constitution that we have today, because there were people who, for selfish reasons, politicians who, for selfish reasons, did not want to see constitutional change. So, going back to this, British honours are awarded on merit for exceptional achievement or service. Goes on to say that the system is overseen by the Cabinet Office Honours and Appointments Secretariat, and British nationals or citizens of the 15 Commonwealth realms can be nominated. The honours list consists of knights and dames, appointments to the Order of the British Empire and gallantry awards for service, and women and civilians. Foreign Office has responsibility for diplomatic service and overseas lists, which recognizes service overseas or service in the United Kingdom with a substantial international component. And honorary awards for foreign nationals are recommended by the Foreign Secretary as well. It says nominations submitted either by government departments or members of the public are divided into subject areas and assessed by committees of independent experts and senior civil servants. Their assessments are passed to a selection committee that produces the list independently of government before it is submitted to the Queen through the Prime Minister. The Queen informally approves the list, and letters are sent to each nominee. Once a nominee accepts the proposed honor, the list is formally approved. The honors are published in the official Crown newspaper, the London Gazette, twice a year, at New Year, and in mid-June on the date of the Queen's official birthday. I have to end there because we have reached the top of the hour, 10 o'clock. Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and by extension For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands in the year of 2022, the year of the Caymanian.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And RF Group, money at